Hey, how you doing? Forgive me, I'm all over the place, as per usual. My chat thing isn't working on there, so I've got to have my chat open on the phone. Mark's Mods, good evening, mate. Hope you're okay. Astro Solari, good evening. Shane Bells, alright, buddy? How you doing? Hope everyone's alright. Apologies for my absence the last couple of weeks. Some of you know I went and slipped a disc in my back. Yay. It's still giving me grief now. But I've managed to go to work today, which is nice. I've actually managed to earn some money. So we'll see how we go. I might have to call this after an hour because it's a bit angry at me, but we'll see how we go. Dennis, good evening, mate. Apologies, I haven't done anything on your guitar, buddy. I just haven't been able to sit up, which has sucked balls. What's that? Just keep taking the tablets. Yeah, I'm on just ibuprofen now. Just regular old ibuprofen. So I'm a lot more mobile than I was, though, because I really wasn't mobile at all. Anyway, enough of my waffle. Let's get some of poor Dennis's guitar done so he's not waiting till Christmas for it. What you all been up to? Anything exciting? Workroom Madness. Cool name. Good evening. I actually dug this out the other day. I haven't sprayed with this for years. I think Sparmax gave me it many years ago. Great for doing huge base coats. It's got like a 0.6 nozzle or something. Loads of paint everywhere. Much to the missus' pleasure. And rainbow dust everywhere. Right, a bit of the old air. Hopefully this isn't clogged up, because I was only using it yesterday, he says. All appears to be good, so we need to finish the black on this, don't we? Is it still here? Is that black? Illustration black, there we go. Look at that, I wanted something and I found it. Don't worry about the guitar, mate, just get yourself sorted. Thanks, buddy. Like I say, I'm sorry to keep you waiting. All I did was bend down behind the bathroom sink. That was it. I originally hurt it when I built my Shedio, if any of you remember that. That was the first time I ever slipped a disc. But that was like 12, 15 years ago, something like that. And although it's giving me the odd twinge, it's never played up. And then the other day, our sink had a blockage. I was down on one knee, bent down, went to go behind it to play about with the pipes, and something went. I suddenly had massive pain in my back, got stuck. It's a lot. But like I say, it hasn't played up for like 12 years. It's weird how life goes, isn't it? Ah, Jeff. How you doing, buddy? I hope all is well over there. That's just like, you've been learning to play the ukulele. That's cool. That's something I always fancied trying out, the ukulele. I never got around to it. And that's just spat all over my finger. Why do they do that when you open them up and they just gob it all out the top like that? Do you reckon the paint manufacturers have designed the lids to do that on purpose? It's like loads of paint gets wasted, so you have to buy more. Riding motorcycles in this lovely weather we had. Yeah, it's been gorgeous, hasn't it? I bet the bikers have been absolutely loving it. They like the dual carriageway between my little town and Winchester a lot, but it's all the guys on the pocket rockets. They all go flying down there at 900 miles an hour, scaring the life out of you. You don't get many people cruising down there. Oh, and other news, I got myself some of that Liquid Kicks matte top coat. Thought I'd give it a try, because I used to airbrush Converse trainers for a charity that gave them to kids who were going through nasty stuff. They would it's called Super Shoes. Some of you might have heard of it. They would ask a kid what their favourite superhero was, for example, and then they have a team of artists who will then take a blank pair of Converse trainers in their size, paint their favourite superhero on them, and then they just give them to them. It's a great charity, and I used to work for them, but I always had trouble protecting the artwork, and it's something that I wouldn't mind getting into again. So I've been doing some research in that lot. This Liquid Kick stuff has been about for a while now, and I've never tried it, so I thought I'd get some and give it a go. Don't know if any of you guys have ever tried it. Good evening, Steve 131. Hope you're doing well, mate. Physics, heat and air pressure in the bottle. Right, so I've got 5 drops of the illustration black, 5 drops of the illustration reducer, and then I've topped the rest up with a little bit of water, in my usual styly. You guys must know my recipe by now. So we need to go to the painty screen. That one. Remember this? It's a thing I haven't been able to touch for like a fortnight. Zoom. So we just need to get some more of those blacks done, which we shall do. And how come my little camera is oh, I see. That's cool. I've still got some stuff to fix on this streaming, haven't I? Like the music still isn't working. My internet is being a bugger tonight as well, apparently. So apologies if I've dropped any frames. Dropped 680 frames. Hopefully it's not too jittery. Let me know if it's too bad. Oh no, I've lost 5 subscribers. That's terrible. I'm under 20,000 now. Oh no. What did I do wrong? Right, let's get painting. That's enough. Why is that squirting paint when I'm not pulling the trigger back? Have we got a little blockage? That's better. Okay, here we go then. So how did you all fare with the heat yesterday, for those of us who are in the UK? Oh, Jeff over in Canada, he's probably used to it. My poor little husky didn't like it much. Did you, Marshall? He was not a fan, bless him. He said bills have worked. Should get hat trick of next week. Ah, cool. How's the back? Yeah, the back is still there, buddy. It's a lot better than it was. I mentioned earlier I haven't been able to sit up like this for over a week, and today was the first day back at work, so I've been sat up like this all day. It's a bit sore now, so I'll see how I go. I might need to call the stream at about an hour. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what it's like at 8 o'clock. We'll see if I'm a cripple or not. Where is my reference picture? That's not the one. I've got a picture here somewhere. Oh, and Dennis, you sent me a load of really nice pictures, didn't you? Nope, gonna have to fire up Photoshop. 2 seconds, viewers. Am I back? Did that work? Am I live again? I hope I am. Yes, I'm back. Yep. Yay. I don't know what happened there. My Wi-Fi just turned itself off. Right, so close that because my computer had a bit of a fit too. I don't think it's hot enough living in Stourbridge. Yeah, see, I don't... Some people love it, don't they? Personally, I'm not a huge fan of the heat. I don't know whether it's because I'm a fair-haired lad. But yeah, I don't fare well in the heat. But then I don't like the cold either. Where am I going? Customers designs, there we go. And then somewhere in here. Dennis Kawasaki strap. There we go. There he is. Cool. Let's get that loaded up. It's the thunderstorms. Yeah, the weather. It's not raining here, but the sky's gone black and the wind has picked up a lot. So it could have something to do with it. Okay, I've got my reference picture up. So let's carry on. So here we've got a little bit of a doodad sticking out of there. I don't know, no pleasing someone. Yeah, I'm not happy, mate. Although I love October time, and winter's okay if I haven't got to go anywhere. So like, I love Christmas. You know, you're all packed up for the year, sat at home in the warm. It can chuck down with snow. We could get snowed in over Christmas. I don't care. Because I'm at home, everyone's safe, everyone's warm and fed, it's all good. I didn't win the lottery last night, so I can't get my house in Scotland. I shall keep trying. Like I have been for the last 30 odd years. I should imagine it doesn't get that hot up in Scotland. Oh look, the lights are dimming. The storms are coming. So if I suddenly cut off, that's probably why. Or that big conker tree has fallen on the house. One of the two. The nameless subscriber. Hey buddy. Yeah, it's not often my work gets in the way of my streams, but every now and then it does. I mean, I finish at 3 o'clock in the afternoon technically, but sometimes, you know, you can't leave someone with a half-done tattoo really. So every now and then I do run over, and by the time I've got home, walked the dog, cooked dinner for me and the kids, all that lot, it's just not possible for me to stream on those nights, sadly, but it doesn't happen often. I like the west coast of Scotland, it's really nice. Yeah, me and the missus want a house somewhere on the northern edge of Scotland, somewhere where we can see the northern lights. You know, I know you can't see them every night, but somewhere where we can see them every now and then. The dream is to win enough money on the lottery to go build ourselves a nice mansion up on the northern edge of Scotland. Tell the missus that she doesn't have to work anymore. I don't care if I still have to work, but, you know, to be able to tell her that she doesn't have to struggle to work anymore, and she can just kick back and relax. That is the ultimate goal. Got to take Bex to the hospital tomorrow. Don't know if you guys remember, but I mentioned she fell over and had a possible broken bone in her hand or fracture. It's still killing her, bless her. They can't see any obvious fracture or break on the x-ray, so she's gonna have to go for an MRI now. On a Sunday as well. That was watching your cave on World of Wayne last week with you and Spruverse. Was she? That's an old one, mate. Or did he replay it again? Right now, my man cave is in a bit of disarray. There's stuff everywhere. I really need to tidy up. Mind you, I'd love to build a new shedio. Just so I don't have to use the dining room, which is where I am right now. You know, the missus can watch telly. She doesn't have to worry about the noise from the TV being picked up by my mics, and then I get a copyright strike and all that. Like, it'd be nice to have like a dedicated studio again, rather than a couple of desks in the dining room. One day. I reckon we'd need about $5,000 because excuse me. I'll need to do a big old concrete slab and then buy the actual cabin thing itself or whatever we decide to use, so won't be cheap. And I've got other things to spend $5,000 on right now, like food and heating, like a lot of us. That's looking better already. I went on playlist because you weren't on. I saw the shed. Aha. Yeah, the poor shed is in a bit of a sorry state at the moment. Don't know if I can extend the camera to show you. It probably won't go. Let's give it a go. Can it? Can't it? Yes, no. No, yes. No, there's my neighbour's extension. There she is. Look at the state of that poor thing. It's got a hole in the roof. The front's fallen off. There's a tree growing into its roof. Poor old girl. She's had a rough life. But she served me well. At some point in the next couple of days I've got to go out there and try and remove that tree that's growing through it. That'll be fun. Go out there with a saw. I'll probably throw my back out again. Just did a half decent tattoo under some bad lighting conditions. Learnt that while white is a pain to get in the skin, and I probably should have used a fresh needle because you're never going to clean it out. Totally, mate. Totally. Yeah, it's more expensive because I don't know if you use cartridges or not. I do, and they're like, depending on the brand, they can be anything up to £1 or £2 per cartridge. But yeah, you'll never clean it out completely, so it's always best to use a fresh needle for the white highlights. I did a couple of neck tattoos today, and an Audrey 2 from Little Shop Horrors. They were fun. I had a good giggle doing those. I made a 16 square foot workshop from 4x2 and second-hand scaffolding boards. Nice one. I have wondered about doing it myself, and then my back went. It would certainly be a lot cheaper than buying a prefabricated one, that's for sure. And that's the sort of thing I get a kick out of. I love doing stuff from scratch rather than just buying a flat pack workshop or whatever. I absolutely love doing stuff from scratch. Start with just a pile of wood and you end up with a workshop, you know. But apparently my back is now very susceptible to slip discs, so I have to be careful, so I'm not sure if I would be able to do it now, which sucks. I might be alright, I don't know. 15 years ago and it's still good. Nice one. Yeah, my if it wasn't for a large chunk of that horse chestnut tree falling through the roof, my Shedio would probably still be alright. And the constant bombardment of conkers that hit it every year, I ended up having to reinforce the roof because they were just making these holes in it all over the place. So that massive tree there is the reason my Shedio died. Bloody thing. But apparently it's a protected tree, they can't touch it. For a while they thought they might have to chop it down or fell it, whatever they call it, because it had something called bleeding canker, which is like cancer for trees apparently. And there was a massive protest about it, saying, you know, it's part of the skyline of the town, and you can't possibly chop it down and all this lot. Meanwhile, I was there like, well, if it's gonna come down, it's gonna go through my house. So if it's poorly, then I would appreciate it if someone did something about it. But rather than chop it down, they just looked after it, and it did all right. But it is getting stupidly big now. I mean, seriously big. It towers over the house. So, God knows how old it is. I mean, I used to live on the same street when I was a kid. Ironically, my parents lived directly over the road. And I remember when we moved in the house over the road that I must have been about 5 or 6 years old, and I remember that that tree, you could see it over the house already. So it was old even when my little close was built. Do you still have the frisket on that painting, or are you spraying bareback now? I'm bareback, baby. There's no masking on here anymore. Flying by the seat of my pants, going freehand. I find that if I do this stage freehand, it helps soften down all the hard edges that you get from masking. So like all the hard edges on all this stuff here, for example, just going in freehand just softens all those edges down and it doesn't look so stenciled. There's a 20-foot office container on eBay at the moment, 123 quid. Now that's interesting. I did wonder about containers. If I get rid of the current Shedio, then the bottom of the garden I could fit a 20-foot by 10-foot shed, I reckon. So 20-foot long, 10-foot deep. That would fit. And it wouldn't mean I would have to get planning permission or anything like that. The only downside is that there is nowhere for a crane to get it into the garden. Yeah, it would have to be a bloody big crane, because they would have to, well, the closest road is about 20 feet away, but there's a neighbour's extension in the way now because they're having their house extended. So sadly, whatever I get will probably have to arrive in bits in the garden and then I assemble it. So if it does come down on your house, do your insurance pay for it or the city? That's a good question. That is a very good question. I mean, I've got a house insurance. But that tree is owned by the local council. So if it did come down, I don't know. Or would they class that as an act of God and not do anything? Either way, I'll probably lose the house. So let's just hope it's nice and strong. Although rather worryingly, the people over that side of it did some renovations recently and dug a massive trench in their garden, so they cut through all the roots that run along that side of it, and then the people who live at the bottom of my garden are having their house extended, so they've chopped through all the roots that are across that side of it, so the only roots that that tree now has that are more than 6 feet long are the ones that run under my garden. Which is a slight worry, considering the tree's got to be about, what, 30, 40 feet tall. They would be back and forth for months while you're sleeping on the curbside. Yeah. But yeah, apparently its bleeding canker or whatever it was is gone. It's a healthy tree again. It just hasn't got very long roots on 3 of its 4 sides. What's that bit there? That bit there is a bit of that. Cool. Or is it? No, it's not. Dennis, if you're still in chat, mate, now back to work. The back's doing better. I will be jumping on this every day that I'm not at work. Just so you know, I'm not going to leave you sat there waiting for ages, mate. I know you've very kindly said there's no rush, but I'm not going to keep you waiting forever for this. I'll be back on it now that the back's on the mend. And thanks for being so patient. Here's a question for you. So rather than sitting here watching me paint a project that I've got going on, what if I was to do a stream like once a month that was kind of a Q&A type thing? Have you got any sort of airbrush techniques that you would like a live demo on? Or anything like that? Rather than just me firing up the streaming software and painting whatever I've got in at the time, I thought it'd be nice to involve you guys a bit more and like go back to the old video days of where I used to demo certain techniques, like how to paint bubble effects or rivets and how to get good detail from your paint using reduction and stuff like that. Is there anything like that you guys want to see in streams or whatever? Cheers, Dennis. Like I say, I won't leave you waiting long now, mate. YouTube camera and computer setup. That's interesting. I'd like to have a go at vlogging. Ah, that's very interesting. Okay. Well, I can cover that a bit right now, actually. My setup really isn't very technical. So this camera you are currently viewing me on right here is a camcorder that I bought when I first started doing YouTube videos. It's just a 1080p camcorder. My god, that wind's got bad out there. Wow. Yeah, let's do a bit of that. Can you see it? This little camera right here, that's just a camcorder. It's just a Panasonic 1080p camcorder, and I've got that linked into my computer via a HDMI lead. But nowadays, thanks to the wonders of technology, you can get camcorders that have a USB port that connect direct to the computer. This hasn't got one because it's old, like me. So I've connected this via a HDMI cable into the graphics card on my computer, which is then fed into my streaming software. Other than that, this camera is a Logitech webcam, a 1080p webcam, that's it. So that's my cameras, a camcorder and a webcam. The mic was 20 quid off of Amazon. Sorry, I banged it. It probably blew your ears off, sorry. That was just a boom mic off of Amazon. That is my setup. Camcorder, webcam, boom mic. Easy peasy. And the software I'm using is OBS Studio, if that helps at all. But yeah, I'll do a detailed video on how I've set it all up at some point. Let's get back to that one. What have I got? Oh, I've gone up 1 subscriber. Hello, whoever you are. That's another thing, it isn't working then. I didn't get any kind of alert on my screen to say I had a new subscriber. It's all broken. I think you should do live model painting again. Yeah, I wondered about the model painting because I'm a 3D printing nerd. I've got all these really amazing files to print. I mean, I've even got a Zatanna figure. Don't know if you guys know her from. I think she's a Marvel character. I can't remember if she's Marvel or DC. She's a magician lass. There's her head, and I've got that all printed out, ready to paint. But I wasn't sure if my audience would be interested in that or not, because there's a lot of brush work. It's not just airbrush. But yeah, if people would be interested in seeing that sort of thing, then I would definitely start streaming that. Do you ever paint shirts, clothes, etc.? No, I don't actually. I tried once with t-shirts, and it was a massive fail. After 2 washes, it came out. After that, I was like, do you know what? This is crap, and I didn't bother again. I know there's an art to it, and there's a way of making it stay. But sadly, I don't possess that skill, so. I left the t-shirts alone. It's always, I've always been in awe of the t-shirt artists when you see them like do all the names and stuff completely freehand with all like the calligraphy writing and that lot. I've always been in massive awe of their skill level and being able to control the airbrush in such a way that they just get the thick and thin bits perfect on lettering and that lot. Something I always fancied getting good at, but never got around to it. That wind has really picked up out there. Blimey. Oh, and it started raining. It's raining. There is water falling from the sky. You're watching Svi's live weather updates. That paint is spraying nice. How much did you reduce and what pressure? Okay, so I am currently at 30 psi at the compressor. I'm not sure what that relates to at the airbrush, because I'm using a Iwata custom micron, which reduces the air pressure a bit, but it's 30 psi at the compressor. I have 5 drops of Createx illustration black with 5 drops of the illustration reducer, and then I'd say about the same amount of paint and reducer in water. So that filled up the paint, and the reducer filled my paint cup up about halfway, and then I filled it up the rest of the way with water. So it's very, very watery. Was being a dirty old man necessarily meant? Oh, human models! Oh, the body paint. Yeah, I'm not sure YouTube would let me stream that. But yeah, although technically they are covered, it's still a bit risky. I'll probably get loads of viewers though. You would have to show the process from CAD drawing to 3D print paint for me. Find model painting interesting. There are loads of model painters on YouTube. Yeah, that's another thing. There are a lot of people streaming the old model painting. The 3D printed ones, not the fleshy naked ones. Leather bike jackets have become a fashion accessory. Maybe you should see if there's any interest in your work. That's a good point. I used to paint a lot of leather jackets. That's how I got started in airbrushing, actually, painting a mate's leather jacket. Many years ago. That liquid kick stuff is good on leather as well, I think it said on the bottle. Unique water-based coatings designed to be a final finish on surfaces such as leather, vinyl, fabric, wood, plastic, rubber and more. There you go. So yeah, I've already got the clear coat for a jacket. Morning everyone. Hello Martial Artistry. Hope you're doing well, mate. My first shirt faded badly, but my second held up surprisingly well after the first wash. Did get some peeling in a couple of spots, but I think that was from blistering the iron. Oh yeah. YouTube allows nudity as long as it's art or educational. I've seen a lot of borderline pervy videos that don't get flagged. Ah, interesting. Yeah, because the models I used to body paint, they always had underwear on. it was just like peachy coloured knickers, and the old nipple pasties. So they were technically covered, but at first glance you would think they were nude. There's a lass on Twitch, M Croft, who streams every night doing body paint. And she's really cool, and she does it. Although I don't think she streams on YouTube. I think she's only on Twitch. Nice, nice, nice. Since I follow Chaffers, he's doing well for himself. Asked to do a YouTube collab with him to design a guitar job. You may get lots more interest in your work. Yeah, I used to do a lot of stuff for Chaffers. A lot of stuff. I was there for the launch of Chapman Guitars. I helped design the ML1, did all the graphics and all that lot and designs when people voted and said what they wanted. I would do the Photoshop mock-ups and stuff. So we go back quite a way, me and old Chappers. I mean, I've even got... I suppose the next thing I really should do, once I've got Dennis's guitar done, the next thing I desperately need to do is get my Big Trouble in Little China one sorted out. Because I've got one of the... I don't know if you guys... Well, some of you will know, because I've been going on about it for ages. But if I switch cameras again, go to there. If I stand up here... Oh, back. Oh. That's one of the ML1s from the very first run. And I'm painting Big Trouble in Little China on it. I've been painting Big Trouble in Little China on it for about 10 years. Oh. I really need to get that done. So I suppose that should be the next job. Get that finally finished. Just the models that I've seen had nothing full on. Wow, sometimes lack. Also unrelated, seen one of a woman getting some kind of pelvic exam. And I couldn't believe it wasn't flagged. Yeah, interesting viewing. So it's no good looking at it. Yeah, I know. That's what I've been doing for the last 10 years, just looking at it. I prefer Snake. Asking myself, been meaning to find good portrait reference from Escape in LA. Oh yeah. Do you know, I've never really seen Escape from LA. Any of them, because there was a couple of them, wasn't there, I think. Right, is that bit there solid black, or is there... No, it's not. So we've got a solid black bit there. prefer Escape from LA rather than Escape from New York. Yeah, I haven't seen either of them. I really should. Don't get to watch much telly. Although I am making sure I have time for oh, excuse me. Making sure I got time to watch The Boys and Obi-Wan Kenobi. I haven't seen this week's Boys yet though, so no spoilers. And it goes pitch black up there, down to about there. I used to watch tons of TV, now all I seem to do is leave it on in the background. But the radio, since the older you get, the more moves and shows seem to repeat the same plot. Yeah, you're totally right. Yeah. I was watching an advert the other night for some show that's coming on. I can't for life of me remember whether it's Netflix or Sky or what, but it was about a bunch of scary kids, and I was watching it. I was like, "This is just Children of the Corn." They've just remade Children of the Corn and called it something else. Obi-Wan, brilliant. Hello there, best line in the franchise. Yeah. Funny, innit, how just two little words, just like one simple little line in a movie or a TV show, can really stick with you. It's like in the new Ghostbusters movie, Ghostbusters Afterlife. There's a bit towards the end where they're fighting Gozer, and she like grabs their proton streams and flings them backwards, and all the original Ghostbusters go flying and hit the car and land on the floor. And Dan Aykroyd turns around and says, "I don't remember the job being this painful," and it cracks me up every time. But Ernie Hudson, who plays Winston, he just replies with "I do." Just two little words like that. It cracks me up every time. It's funny how just a little line in a program or movie or whatever can just perfect like that. Have the photos helped? I can send you more if you need any. Dennis, the photos you sent, mate, were brilliant. Thank you. Yeah, don't need any more. Cheers, buddy. They're perfect. Thank you. Am I still on camera? Yeah, good. Itchy nose of doom. Ugh, bloody hay fever. Anyone else had major hay fever the last couple of days? I was absolutely fine until day before yesterday, and then it just exploded. I don't know what changed 2 days ago. Whether we switched to a different type of pollen, because you've got grass pollen, weed pollen and tree pollen, haven't you? But yeah, I was totally fine until 2 days ago, and then all of a sudden, bang. Yeah, Darth Vader is brilliant. The whole show's good, isn't it? It's really nice the way they've done it. It's a shame there's only 6 episodes. There's only 1 left, isn't there? I know these things cost an awful lot of money to make, and a lot of manpower, but it really is a shame that it's only 6 episodes. They could have ran with that and made it a very long series. You're only supposed to bloody... Yeah. God. I used to be a major mini nut. Still am, really. I'd love a classic mini. I just wouldn't like the bills associated with one. Yeah. Used to love the Italian job. Can't stop yawning. Sorry. Where is my freehand shield? Now, something tells me it was over here. There it is. So that needs protecting like so. While I do 2 cables, one that comes from there and goes up to about there, and the other one that comes from there and goes to just under it there. Okay. Beautiful. Yeah, true. Yeah, and yes, minis are insane. I mean, God, my last mini I sold when my wife fell pregnant with my son. So 18 years ago I sold my last mini. And that was a thing of beauty. If I still had that now, it would be it'd probably be a 10, 12 grand car. It's just nuts. I keep my eye out for mini bonnets or hoods if you're in America, because I reckon that'd be cool. If I could get hold of a bonnet to a Mini, I'd love to paint the Italian job all over it. And now I've said that on stream, someone's probably going to steal my idea and do it. I'd love to do that though. Just get hold of a nice mini bonnet and paint an Italian job mural on it, and then just have it on the wall. That'd be cool. So if anyone watching this at any time, now or in the future, has a spare mini bonnet they want to send my way, give me a shout. But even the bonnets, they cost a fortune now. Anything to do with classic cars. Mind you, anything to do with petrol cars these days are a fortune, because nobody's making them anymore. $18 grand, really? Good grief. That's a few pennies. Oh, did anyone see the video of that battery powered bus in France and the batteries exploding? It's a little bit worrying, isn't it? And also, whose stupid idea was it to put the bus's batteries in the roof of the bus? So of all the places that's going to get hot, you would have thought the roof of the bus would get quite toasty, and they're like, "Ah, no, we'll fill it full of batteries." No wonder it blew. It makes you wonder about all these battery-powered cars. If the batteries get a fault, it could be potentially quite nasty. Those batteries are dangerous and unstable, yet somehow we managed to end up with them in everything from power tools to transportation, and even in our pockets. Yeah, even a mobile phone if the battery explodes. Pardon me. Yeah, can give you some really nasty burns, and yet we're putting them in everything. It's like vapes. I haven't seen a vape battery go off on those 18650s. Yeah, I did have a bunch of them on here. It's what power my the lightsabers that I play with. You know, these things, the old 18650 rechargeable batteries. If one of them goes off on you, you know about it. Not something to be messed about with, that's for sure. They said 36 years it would be passed on to my son. Oh, that's really nice. It's nice to be able to pass something on like that. I remember the videos of the vape blowing up in people's faces. Yeah, they've made them a bit more safer now. But, batteries don't like heat, and things are hotting up. You get somebody. I had to moan at my daughter the other day because she left a can, like deodorant can, spray can, on a bedroom window, with the sun beating down on it, and I was like, if that gets hot enough, that's going to explode, right? I've heard that basically an explosive and failed many safety tests, but somehow they got them past inspections. Money greases a lot of wheels, I guess. Yeah, I try not to subscribe to the old conspiracy theories and like to hope that the powers that be do actually have our best interests at heart, but you do have to wonder sometimes, don't you? Nice line work, thank you, buddy. It comes in handy being a tattooist. Although it's a lot harder to do a nice line with an airbrush than it is a tattoo machine. One of those vapes shorted out and started to burn a hole in my pocket. My mate had the same thing, mate. He used his vape, stuck it in his pocket, and then a few seconds later he starts screaming his head off, and yeah, it burnt a hole in his pocket and burnt his leg. And we don't know what happened. Something shorted out, but all he did was take a little suck on it and then put it back in his pocket. But something shorted out, and yeah, it just went volcanic in seconds. So yeah, they're not to be messed about with. I mean, even the lightsabers that I play with. You think about sticking one of those batteries in a metal pipe. You're basically making a pipe bomb. So imagine that blowing up in your hand inside a metal tube. It's going to take your hand off. It's definitely not things to be messed about with, that's for sure. But yeah, you gotta wonder when they're filling cars with these things, just how safe are they? Unfortunately for you, that's not the world we live in. I know. It's nice to dream, though, isn't it? You know, yeah. Call me optimistic. I like to see the best in people. And look out for them and their own, while doing just enough to justify their existence to the rest of us. Yeah. So then batteries are very different to nickel, metal, whatever it is. If you drain them too fast, they can explode. I fly RC aircraft. I've seen one. Oh, RC aircraft. Now, see, they must have some serious batteries in them. Could be worse. Could be a dark saber. It happens if you drain them too fast too. Thought it was just if you overcharged them. Yeah, no, if you drain them too fast as well. Yeah, forgot all about that. Yeah. Mr. Proton Pack up there. He runs off of an RC battery, a 12-volt RC battery, and yeah, I had to be really careful when I was doing the electronics and that to make sure that it didn't drain it all too quickly, that it could handle the load and all that, because yeah, otherwise they do explode. Yeah, I forgot all about that. So not only do you have to watch out that they don't get too hot, you can't drain them too quickly, you can't overload them. They're quite volatile things. I haven't turned my proton pack on tonight. I'm failing. I normally have him flashing away in the background, don't I? Move that down a little bit. Gonna play with those exhaust pipes. Just guesstimating, hope it doesn't blow up. Yeah, that was pretty much my thought when I did the electronics in the proton pack. Plug it all in and just hope it doesn't blow up. Lithium polymer for RC aircraft. If you use too big a speed controller, they drain too fast and can explode. Wow. I a little while ago I started making a life-size R2D2 on the old 3D printer. It's currently in storage. I will finish it one day. I've got the body and the head printed, but that needs some serious power because it's like a couple of mobility scooter motors for movement, and then you've got like half a dozen Arduinos to control all the servos and all that lot. Most people seem to run them off of a couple of car batteries, but of course that weighs a lot. So when I get back into doing that, I'm going to have to see what alternatives there are to big bulky car batteries. Although if he's got a couple of car batteries in his feet, that will make him nice and stable. He won't go falling over with that much weight in his feet, that's for sure. You have to use a balanced charger that reads the cells. Woo! And I get scared when I plug in my cell phone and it says doesn't support fast charging. Nothing charges fast these days. It all goes at a snail's pace. And USB-C, the new one, it's useless, isn't it? All the plugs I've got for my phones, they keep falling out. Mr. Savage, good evening, mate. I got your voicemail. Sorry I haven't replied. I've been busy getting ready to go back to work. Mate, on any of the social medias you've got me on, send me a picture of what you want tattooed, buddy, and we'll chat about it over Messenger, okay? That way I don't have to remember what it is you want and all that sort of stuff. I've got it in a message that I can refer back to and all that lot. But I hope you're doing well this evening. I hope you've had a good Saturday. Hope all is good in the world of Mr. Savage. Am I still on camera? Good. Cheers, mate. We'll do later. Cool. I look forward to it, buddy. One day someone is going to invent a universal charger, one size supports all, and he will become a millionaire or be assassinated in his sleep. Yeah, it'll just be assassinated, mate. You can't do things like that. Yeah, the world is kind of okay. Trouble with Mrs. Medical. Oh, hope she's okay, mate. Can you imagine if we all had electric cars and plugged them in at the same time at night? Could be a power. You saying that, Dennis? The big Tesco's in Winchester that my good lady wife works at. They installed some chargers in the car park. They installed like 4 charging spaces in their car park. And good evening, Scott. Hope you're doing well, bud. And yeah, they had that done, and then all of a sudden they kept getting power cuts. The power kept just going off for no reason shortly after, and they found out that it was the charging ports drawing too much power and killing the entire store. Bear in mind it's a Tesco superstore, so it's absolutely massive. But yeah, if more than 2 cars plugged themselves in, or rather the owners plugged them in, it killed the power to the whole shop. See how much I'm going to be on today. Do you know what, mate? I might call it quits in about 5 minutes because the old back's starting to burn a bit. Might go sit on the sofa for a while, take some painkillers. I was going to try and do the full 2 hours, but it is getting a bit gnarly, so I don't want to push it too much. Not when it's just started getting better. But it's done well. I've managed to sit up all day. Like I say, do 2 tattoos on someone's neck. Do another one for his girlfriend on her arm. So I've been sat up all day, which is more than I've been sat up in over a week. So it's all good. That's a lot of juice for 2 cars. Yeah, it is. And I bet they only get like 10 miles until the next charge. Do you know what? That's... Me and Bex were talking about that the other night. It's really weird because when they were going on about electric cars to start with and that we were all going to have to switch and all this lot, you could only get about 20 to 50 miles out of a single charge. And, you know, we were saying at the time that's ridiculous. You know, you're not going to be like for me, for example, it's a 20-mile drive to work. The tattoo studio I work at is 20 miles from home, so in a day I do 40 miles. So I would have to charge it up every single day, probably. And then all of a sudden they're saying that you could get 200 miles out of a single charge, like, you know, overnight. And it's like, well, what changed for them to suddenly be able to get that sort of mileage out of them? Don't overdo it, mate. Please don't feel pressure to finish it. I won't, buddy. I won't push myself too hard. I don't want to screw my back up again. But I appreciate you being so patient. I needed to be a bit darker there. Cool. Yeah. Just zoom out so you can see what we've done. It's coming along nicely, innit? It still looks a bit contrasty at the moment. I'm just getting all the blacks in there really, and then once I've done the blacks, then I'll go over it again and tone down some of these whites. I've got to do the blacks of the tyres, all that sort of thing. That bit there needs to be orange, so I've got to go in with a bit of colour here and there. But yeah, it's coming together nicely, and my nose will not stop itching. Wow. Ugh, flour dust. Alright, let's put that over there. Put that over there. Cool, right, I reckon I'm going to call it there, guys. Sorry I couldn't do the full 2 hours. But thanks for popping in anyway. Where are we? Let's switch to that one. Yay. So yeah, thanks for stopping by. Nice to chat to you all again. I will be back next Saturday. At the minute, I haven't got any tattoos in for Monday or Tuesday next week. So depending on the missus and whether she'll let me stream or not while she's trying to watch telly over there, I might go live on Monday and Tuesday. So keep an eye on the old social medias. I'll put a post up if I am. Let's hang with it. Cheers, guys. Looking really good. Awesome. I'll tell you what changed. Bigger battery that explodes on the buses. Yeah, totally. Alright, cool. I'm going to go put the kettle on, take some nice painkillers. You all take care, and I will see you next week, or possibly Monday and Tuesday. Where is the stop button? It's around here somewhere. It is that one. Cool. See you later. Bye bye.